Hi guys, Alana here, and welcome to one of my Yin series beginners videos. So today we're going to be focusing on the shoulders, the chest, our neck, anything to release some tension up in this area. A lot of times we have some bad posture just walking around or sitting all day. I know I am guilty of it at my day job. So this should feel really great. It'll release a little tension and a little stress, get you some relaxation in your day. So if you want, you can grab a block or a blanket. We'll be using those to let our body kind of relax or help the ground come a little closer to us. They don't have to be yoga props. You can use some pillows like I have here, whatever kind of blanket you have in your home. We're just gonna have a nice, comfortable, relaxing practice, so no need to stress out about the props. If you're interested in some other Yin series videos, you can do this one in conjunction with a few other ones. I'll put the links in the bottom of the notes section, and you can check those out as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Find a nice, comfortable place in your home, and maybe somewhere that you can't be distracted or you won't have distractions. Feel free to light some candles, maybe have some essential oils, and just give yourself permission to chill for the next 30 minutes. So today we'll just start in a nice comfortable seat. So if your hips are feeling really nice and tight, I usually like to sit on a blanket. I fold mine about 4 times. So I'm just gonna sit on that. Helps elevate the hips, lets the knees rest gently down onto the mat. And just make sure you're really rooted if you're doing that. And we're just gonna take a few moments to find our breath here. So roll the shoulders up towards the ears, let them roll down the back. Find a nice tall spine, maybe tucking the chin slightly. And just close your eyes, begin to let go of your day, let go of your thoughts, and see if you can just focus on the breath here. And as we get more centered and grounded, we'll start to really exaggerate the breathing. So we want to find a nice rhythm of maybe 4 counts, but we're filling up the belly and the chest completely. So we're going to inhale nice and big. You should feel your lungs and your ribs expand. We'll pause at the top and then slowly exhale it all out. And just continue finding a rhythm. And the longer your exhale, the more relaxing of a breath it's going to be. And as we're passive in some of these poses, I like to use mantras to not only empower you, but to kind of distract your mind a little bit and take it off of maybe some intensity or discomfort that's happening in your body. So today, as I mentioned in the intro, we hold a lot of stress and tension here. You know, you can see people kind of walking around hunched over if they're, going through some things. Even confidence level, you might be a little closed off. So today, our mantra is just going to be simply, I release, and then whatever you might be working on can follow that. I release stress, I release self-doubt, I release fear, I release my anxiety, whatever it might be for you. So take a few moments and breathe in, thinking of that mantra. You can begin to flutter the eyes open. We'll just begin by doing a few warm-ups. So just bring the arms beside us. Take a nice big inhale up towards the sky. Really let the chest come forward. And exhale. Release it all out. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling up. Gaze towards the fingertips. And exhale, release. 1 more. Inhale. Chest goes high. Exhale, release it down. And then just bring the hands to the knees and we'll do a few cat and cows seated. So we're just gonna take a nice big inhale, chest rises, head drops back, letting those shoulders come away. And exhale, rounding, letting the chest come into, or the chin come into the chest. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, 1 more time, back up. And exhale, round. And then come back to neutral. And we'll just release the shoulders a little bit and the neck. So we're going to do some shoulder rolls. We're going to inhale the shoulders up towards the ears and exhale, roll them down the back. Inhale, shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, let them roll down the back. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. And we'll do it the opposite way. So coming from the back, squeezing, letting the arms come forward. Inhaling up. Exhale, release. 1 more. Inhaling up. Exhale, releasing. Awesome. And we'll just do 1 more. So inhale the arms out to the sides. Lift the chest. Really let them come back. And exhale, round. Give yourself a hug. Chin can come into the chest. Let the shoulders rest in the hands. Inhale, arms come back out. And exhale, we'll switch the grip though. Whichever hand wasn't on the top will be on the top this time. And then inhaling, come back to center. Beautiful. So remove the blanket if you're on it. And we're going to simply roll over our knees and come into a tabletop pose. So we're stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll do a few cat-cows this way as well. So inhale, head goes high, belly drops. Exhale, rounding. Inhaling, coming up. Exhale, round. And 1 more, inhaling up. And exhale, rounding. And come back to neutral and we'll get started with some yin. So we're going to inhale that right arm up to the sky, really lifting the chest. And exhale, thread the needle through the space on that right side. So if you need a little space for your head, you can grab that blanket, maybe put it on top of your cheek or your head. If not, just letting the cheek or your forehead come down to the mat. And just begin to breathe here, settling into that shoulder. Your left hand can either be outstretched in front of you, or if the bind is in your practice, you can take the bind. If you're taking the bind, we really just want to open that left shoulder. So we'll sink in here for a few moments, just breathing really deep. And just checking in the rest of your body is nice and relaxed. We're not holding our tension anywhere else. We're not squeezing anything else. Your hand was in a bind, bringing it back down to the mat, placing the hand and pushing up. Inhale that right arm back up to the sky. And exhale, bring it back down to the mat, readjust, and we'll go to the other side. So inhaling that left arm up to the sky, really shining the chest, and exhale, release it through. So letting the cheek or the forehead come down to the mat, taking the bind with the right hand if that's in your practice. Sinking in here and releasing. That right hand was in a bind, bringing it back down to the mat. And pushing up, inhaling that left arm up to the sky. And exhaling it back down to the mat. And just push the hips back and find a child's pose here. So letting the arms come out in front of you, forehead's coming to the mat. Maybe bringing that blanket again if your hips are really far off the heels. And just release. Take some nice deep breaths here. If we're holding some tension in that upper spine, this should feel really nice. So from our child's pose, we're going to begin to walk the fingertips forward. Hips are going to come up so they're right parallel to the knees. And we're going to come into what's called melting heart. So this is a great place for blankets. I actually prefer using a blanket here. So you can take a moment to kind of set up, get whatever props you might need. So I like to roll my blanket, kind of like a little sausage roll. And I'm going to place it right under my chest. This can be really intense for that upper spine. So this kind of brings the ground a little closer, gives you a little pillow. So I'm going to put it right under my shoulders. And I'm going to let the head either come down forehead, or you can have the chin on the mat. Hands are spread out in front of you. If you have shoulder pinchiness, moving them wide will help that. And then you just begin to sink in, relaxing here. Enjoying this nice stretch, propping yourself up as needed. We won't hold this super long. then to come out of it, we'll just slowly walk our fingertips back towards us, sitting the hips back towards the heels again. Find a child's pose. If you want, you can let the arms come beside you if the shoulders are feeling maybe a little loose. Returning back to the breath here. We're going to begin to lift up to a tabletop and then just lower our bodies down onto the mat. Letting one cheek come down, letting the arms come beside you. And from here, we'll set up for our next pose. So we'll start on this left side. So let the left arm come out, just coming right out from the armpit or the shoulder. And we'll take our right hand and almost just like a little cupcake, and we'll begin to roll onto that left shoulder. So depending on your shoulder flexibility, you might just be here with both legs stacked, but if you need a little more, you can let that right leg bend, and you can come really onto that left shoulder. So this is another great place for some props. I'm going to grab my blanket. And you can almost create a little pillow under your head and your neck to rest it on, if you'd like. You can just put it beside you to rest that right hand on. And we'll just sink in here for a few breaths. And then just beginning to roll back over onto your belly. You can kind of shake that arm out a little bit. And we'll switch over to the right side. So right arm's coming right out from the shoulder. And we'll begin to roll onto that arm. Once again, only going as far as what you can do. If you're the whole way, left leg's bent this time. Feel free to grab yourself a little pillow for your head. You can maybe put your hand on your belly, just getting really connected with the breath. Opening the shoulder, breathing into it. And then begin to remove any props that you have, and we'll begin to roll back on our bellies. So let the arms come beside you. Take 3 breaths here, just laying. And we'll begin to roll onto our backs. And just bring the arms over the head and take a nice good morning stretch. So reaching, tense the whole body. And exhale, release it. And then bring the knees into the chest, give them a little hug. Bring the nose up to meet the knees, find a little ball. And let the head and the shoulders drop back down. Arms are going to come into a T or a go post. Nice stretch, openness in the chest. And just let the legs come over to the right side. Finding a supine twist. Head can either be looking towards or away from the knees, whatever feels good to your neck. And just take a few breaths here. Finding some ease in this pose. Bring the knees back into your chest and let them drop over to the left side. Gazing towards or away from the knees. And you can prop the knees up if they're having a hard time making it to the ground. And just sink in, surrender here. And begin to bring the knees back into the chest. Find one more nice big hug. And then let the body release down your mat. Legs are long, arms are right beside you. Finding your Shavasana, our final relaxation. Maybe lifting the shoulders up towards the ears and then letting them drop down the back. Relaxing your forehead. Allowing the jaw to unclench. Maybe dropping that tongue from the roof of the mouth. And just releasing here. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing awareness back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, rocking your head from side to side, and then finding a fetal position on the right side of your body, cradling your head in your arms. And just take a moment to observe how you feel, if you notice any shifts in your mind and your body. And we'll slowly come up to a nice comfortable seat. Bring the hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope that this released some tension in your shoulders and your chest. And please feel free to subscribe to get my latest video and leave me any comments that you have on the practice. I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.